douchebags, what's going on? It's Landon Remixes here, and it is time for another edition of Top 5, the series where I talk about compilations. Today's a big one, and it's going to be a little bit of a different video because I'm actually going to be talking about two different compilations today. Monstercat Instinct Volume 2 and Rocket League X Monstercat Volume 5. Uncoincidentally, both themed around Monstercat's Instinct brand that came about earlier this year. A brand that, for the most part, I can say I've really enjoyed throughout the course of 2018. And sure, there have been quite a few tracks this year that I didn't feel like quite hit the mark, but for the most part, I feel like Monstercat Instinct has been just vibrant electronic pop music that I feel like sets itself pretty high above the stuff on the radio. And as proved with Rocket League X Monstercat Volume 3, a lot of these songs have the ability to go beyond the scope of just radio play and Spotify listens by entering a video game. If you couldn't already tell, I quite enjoyed that compilation, and I also liked Monstercat Instinct Volume 1 a lot. Obviously, those two compilations were going to be a hard act to follow, and I didn't really expect to like these two albums quite as much, and fittingly, I can't say I did. Although, both of these compilations do have some pretty fantastic music, and that's why this series exists, so I can highlight the tunes that I feel like really deserve the spotlight. So without further ado, let's get right into it with Monstercat Instinct Volume 2. As usual, this isn't going to be a top 5 in the sense that I'm going to be ranking my 5 favorites, but I'm just going to be talking about my 5 favorites on the album in the order that they appear. So starting out, we've got Voices by Kovan off of their Reality Reach EP. I've already voiced my love for this song a little bit in that last rapid fire reviews video I did, but this song definitely deserves its own spotlight too. I feel like Kovan has really been on a roll this year, and I've definitely enjoyed every step of that. When I found out that they were doing a song featuring a choir of fans from the internet, I honestly didn't know what to think. I didn't really know what to expect, I suppose. Certainly it's not going to be as good as if they hired a professional choir to record on this song, but I thought it was a cool sentiment at least. And I gotta say, when this song came out, I was genuinely wowed by how they incorporated the choir into the song. I think I already mentioned this in my rapid fire reviews video, but really the only problems I have with this song are that, first of all, there's some weird vocal effect going on, going into the drop on Katie's vocals, that make it really hard to understand what she's lyrically saying, which kind of made the vocal harder to listen to, I guess. And then secondly, there's some obvious Porter Robinson influences. I was definitely hearing a little bit of Flicker in this song, but like that's not a huge deal because I feel like everyone has kind of done that style at this point. This is the first time Kovan's done anything like that, so it's not like I hate the song for that reason. If I did, why would it be on this list, you know? It's definitely a standout on Monstercat Instinct Volume 2, and if you haven't yet, I would highly suggest you check out the EP. It's one of my favorites of the year. Secondly, I'd like to spotlight Forward by Doomu, one of my favorite tunes by Dooms in a long time. I'd say this is probably even my favorite post-Illuminate single that he's done. I guess the main thing I have to say about this song is like, future bass producers, take note, because this right here is how you make an emotionally impactful future bass song. It's richly layered and textured. The sounds that Doomu is using in this song are fairly unique. The vocals are absolutely beautiful by Emia or Amia. I'm not entirely sure how that's supposed to be pronounced. I love the truly real sounding drum fill going into the first drop. That alone, I guess, helped me prepare to get hit with feels like a ton of bricks in the first drop. And then the second drop is just amazing as well. It's like a complete change up, but it isn't like a total 180 either. It's a bit darker, but it's still really vibrant and fits the flow of the song really nicely. And I can honestly say that this song did take a few listens for me to fully appreciate, I guess, as much as I do. But after a certain point, the song kind of hits you, and now for me, this is like such an emotional and immersive experience for me. Next off, I'd like to highlight Stand Off by label newcomer Memba featuring HAHAHA. First of all, I've got to say a huge welcome back to HAHAHA. I loved his song with World, Drowning, that he did a couple of years ago, and I think he's one of the best vocalists to ever grace Monstercat, and I mean that truly. Fantastic R&B singer, he always knocks his performance out of the park. I think I actually liked his performance even a little bit better on 15-Story Jump, and that song probably would have made this list if I didn't feel like the drop was super half-baked and poorly mixed. Standoff, on the other hand, hand, I really don't have any complaints about. The song has a really great groove, which I'd say is the first thing that really caught my attention in this song, and the drop is also pretty insane to me. It's very textured, melodic, but also pretty aggressive at the same time. It does take a little bit more of a minimal approach than a lot of the music that I typically enjoy in this genre, but I can say I've been enjoying minimalism in electronic music quite a bit more as of recent, and I feel very similarly about my fourth pick, Mad For You by Snareskin featuring Trove. Really, I'd say this song's minimalism is the main thing that really held me back from loving it when I first heard it. I think it was because a few parts of this song reminded me of Insight by Haywire, but the fact that there wasn't a big synth lead in the drop kind of hurt my opinion of this song originally. I wanted something there to grasp and to hold on to and to remember this song by beyond just the textures that Snareskin brings forward. But every time I listen to this song, I can say I enjoy it more and more. Sure, there might not be a big sticky melody, but I appreciate all the little details and melodic licks that are placed all over the track. One of the things that really stuck out to me about the song though was its jazz influences, especially those keys at 1 minute 30 seconds, just absolutely on point. And then the obvious thing, Trove's vocals here are absolutely fantastic. I think he's one of the best newcomers to the Monstercat label, and I should probably check out more of his off-label stuff, but both of his features on both AU5's The Journey and this one, I absolutely loved his performance. If that song would have had a little less predictable drop, or even no drop at all, it probably would have been on this list. And I guess that leads me into my last pick off this compilation, Better by Laszlo. This song got a lot of mixed reception, and my first time listening to it, I can't really say I was in love with it, but I did appreciate its uniqueness, and you know, one of the things that I feel like has always made Laszlo a really special producer is his ability to explore different outlets and genres and find ways to make them sound fresh with his kind of interstellar sound, and that's definitely the case for Better. And I mean, sure, it's a future bass song, but it uses textures and synths that I would have never expected to hear in this genre. In particular, there's the synth that comes in at 56 seconds, which I've just never heard anything like it. Almost makes me feel like I'm on an intergalactic voyage and I'm receiving a foreign transmission from an alien spacecraft or something. The less minimal, more future bass-leaning drops are also really enjoyable too. Very much just an immersive audio experience that makes me feel like I'm floating. It's the closer on Laszlo's debut album, Liftoff, which I would highly suggest you check out if you haven't yet. He did a really great job with that one. Gotta move on here to Rocket League X Monstercat Volume 5, which I will say I didn't enjoy quite as much as Volume 3, but I will say I did thoroughly enjoy all of the songs on this EP quite a bit. Unlike I usually do with the Rocket League videos, I'm actually not going to be ranking these this time. This is going to be the same as Instinct Volume 2, where I just go in order that they appear on the album. So my first pick is going to be Badlands by Rogue. In terms of 2018 Rogue, I wouldn't say I enjoy this nearly as much as Fortress, but I would say I prefer it over Mirage. It's interesting to me to see Rogue doing instrumental music again, because I kind of thought he was at a point in his career where he had moved past that. Not to say I dislike his instrumental music at all, I just kind of thought he was going more in the pop direction at this point. But it's cool to see him doing that again, even if this isn't my favorite instrumental Rogue by a mile. I do like a lot of things about this track though, especially that really synth-wavy intro. I really thought he did a great job in the production on that section. The drop I don't think is super memorable, like it just didn't really click with me all that much. I do like though that it's kind of a different, more melodic take on his rattlesnake sound. You can definitely hear those rattly hi-hats across the song. For being an instrumental though, I'd say it sits pretty well beside Mirage and Fortress. Kind of carries a similar vibe, and I'd say Rogue is going into a solid direction right now. For my second pick, I gotta give it up to Grant for Castaway featuring Jesse Mason. This song kind of sees Grant return to his signature style, which for the most part I'd say is a pretty good thing. Funny enough, I don't think I actually like this song as much as The Edge, but it is really refreshing to see Grant kind of go back to this style, and with a very aggressive attitude. The drop is very heavy, very trippy. It uses a lot of those unique sounds that I really love Grant for. As usual, I really enjoyed Jessie Mason's appearance here. Her vocals are great as always, and I love her songwriting. She knows how to write a great hook, and I think the one on this song is just as infectious as ever. It's songs like this that I really wish were being being played out more on EDM radio, but sadly I think this sound is a little bit too experimental and a little bit too heavy. Oh well, at least I enjoy it. For my third pick, I have got to give it up to Smile and Nick Smith for Runnin'. Post-Grammy-nominated Smile has been absolutely amazing, and this song is certainly a prime example of that. Though the main things that I really loved about this song were in the electric guitar as well as Nick Smith's vocals and his keys. And I will note, Nick has a great voice that I did not know about until this song came out. I've got to say, Smile did an excellent job kind of taking those elements and bringing them to the next level with a fully fleshed out production. It feels so full, energetic, and danceable, yet the main things about this song that make it stand out still stand out. It's so full, energetic, and danceable, yet Smile still leaves room for these very musical parts to still stand out in the song. Though I wouldn't necessarily put this one above To Me, I'd say it's my favorite on the compilation. For my fourth pick, I've got to give a warm welcome back to Hyper Potions with Expedition. Though I have a hard time listening to a lot of Hyper Potions at once because most of their music is just so cheesy, I do enjoy seeing them around once in a while, and this song was definitely a breath of fresh air for me. This song is pretty much your typical kawaii, future bass, Hyper Potions tune. Nothing too out of the ordinary for them. I will say though, there was a section that really made the song for me, and that was the section from about 2:40 to 3:15. It's got more of a 4 on the floor kind of full-time feel. It's very happy and very energetic, and it's got this guitar work that I absolutely love. The melody is super euphoric, and I guess that's what I love Hyper Potions for. And my last pick off of this album has to be From Here by Cloud None. Admittedly, I like Cloud None a lot. I think his brand of garage is very enjoyable. This song isn't the craziest thing ever, and I'm not even entirely sure it really fits the Rocket League vibe at all. If I'm honest, this song sounds like it was cut from the same cloth as Cloud None's Welcome to London EP. It would have fit very snug with that project. The kind of song that you would listen to at midnight in the pouring rain. But I like the song for all the same reasons that I typically enjoy Cloud None's music. I mean, it's garage for one, which we typically don't get a lot of on Monstercat, and it's very chill and relaxing, but also very emotionally driven at the same time. I've also got to say that the vocals were a really interesting choice that I think paid off pretty well. They don't sound clean at all, like they sound very raw, like they were recorded in an area that had a lot of background noise going on, and you can kind of hear that going on in the track, like there's other things going on. But you know, it fits this style of music really well, and I feel like it further drives it up an artistic alley. But yeah, like I said, this isn't the most crazy song, definitely doesn't stand out to me as much as some of my other picks, but it is a good tune, and it does enough to hold my interest throughout its running length. I am going to wrap up this video, but before you guys go typing in the comments, oh, where's Rootkit? I will say that I did enjoy his song a lot, and I enjoyed it certainly more than the last Monstercat single that he released. It does have a groove to it that I really like, and I will say I enjoy that it's more of Rootkit going back to his signature sound, I suppose. But I didn't feel like the song had enough of a progression going on throughout its length to really maintain my interest. This is the kind of thing that I'd enjoy listening to in the background, but not necessarily in my own free time. And hey, maybe that's why it's on the Rocket League soundtrack. That would only make sense. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this double edition of Top 5. Look forward to more reviews and end of the year content coming soon. Things are a little bit more delayed than I had originally hoped, but you guys will get your videos, trust me. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm Landon Remixes, and I'll see you soon. Peace.